Welcome everyone to this video on allyship and advocacy. Remember, we are talking about diversity, equity, and inclusivity everywhere, as the case might be. So, yes, what is meant by advocacy? What is allyship? How do we promote an inclusive culture within our organization? Remember, to respect for diversity is itself making way accommodation for inclusions or inclusivity. So yes, we need to respect that every one of us are coming from different backgrounds. Not two of us are look-alike or have similar thought process, similar upbringing. So probably we are diverse in our upbringing, diverse in our background. Respecting that diversity itself paves the way for being an inclusion or inclusivity. So, what is allyship? Allyship is an active, consistent practice of unlearning. Remember, whatever we have learned, whatever prejudices that we have our mind, whatever thought process we have our mind, we should unlearn it, make space for re-evaluating beliefs and action, in which a person seeks to work in solidarity with a marginalized individual or a group of people. And that is exclusively what is to be defined as allyship. Allyship is being inclusive with every one of us, working with understanding not only our perspective but also appreciating the perspective of other people. So, allyship is an active and consistent practice of unlearning, re-evaluating beliefs and action, in which a person seeks to work in solidarity with marginalized humans or individuals or perhaps even a group of people. Allyship in the workplace is not what is not a workplace obligation. It is an obligation to humanity. Remember, not in a workplace. Allyship is not a workplace obligation. It is perhaps should be inculcated in our daily life, in our community life, in our society. It's not no longer should be limited to the organization or the workplace that we work around it. It's allyship start with the relationship of mutual respect, mutual growth, and can start with committing an employee regulations and employee awareness in the workplace. Probably this is what we would love to gain forward. The sense of open-mindedness, the sense of acceptance of others' point of view, belief system, background, race, color, creed into our community is what is to be brought up, to be begun with in the workplace itself, but it should not limit it to workplace. It should spread across the society and the community, perhaps alike. What if you didn't, or perhaps even if you see a gender or a race in a workplace? How do you believe so? Do you classify human beings? Do you classify your co-workers? Do you classify your teammates based on the gender, based on the color of the skin, based on the religion, based on the color of their hair, and so on and so forth, their upbringing, their education, their socioeconomic background, race in the workplace? If you do, this is something which we should not be working around it. We can't expect people with turtle views and movement on diversity to make giraffe decisions. So we cannot be slow and steady as if holding back to the tradition and probably making strides as far as modernity or acceptance is concerned. Giraffe decision, the tall order decision that we are talking about it on the development and inclusions of marginalized groups in workplace. So yes, we cannot be dual faced. We cannot have split personality. We need to walk the talk that we say so. I'll talk about the 6 A's. Remember, 6 A's to become an ally. The secret of change is to focus on your energy, yourself. It is you and not others. Not on finding the old, but building the new. It is you that used to make a space for it. It is you who has to accommodate the beliefs, the belief system, the value system, the ethos of the others. So yes, this is what Socrates tells about Ali. The secret of change is to focus on your energy and not on fighting the old, but building the new. First is of altruism and others, becoming true to yourself time and again, as the case might be. What is altruism? Altruism is, believe it or not, is your truth is not only your truth. Everybody has their own versions of truth, so you need to accept their versions also. Need not be your truth and your versions and their versions collide with one another, or absolutely are parallel to one another. They may not be symmetry. There might be different degrees of understanding and different degrees of agreement to it, but that is what altruism is all about. It Awareness is wisdom of knowing that you are not aware of it. You should acknowledge the fact that you do not have the complete know-how of the whole system. You should accept the fact that you do not have a 360-degree point of view and understanding of any subject. There are lacunae, there are shadow areas, there are things that you're not aware of. Being aware of the fact that you're not aware is itself the awareness, which been stated by Socrates. Advocacy. Now, what is advocacy? Is a public support for recommendation of a particular cause, where you have the public sentiment working for you. When you see there's a mass consciousness which works towards a particular goal or particular ideology. That is what advocacy is all about. It the advocacy of diversity in technology. What are we looking at? We are trying to promote champions of champion. We are trying to push for boosterism or probably having a professionalism outlook in the workplace. And that is what advocacy is all about. It is the general consciousness of the people working together, and that is what they want to achieve. Together, remember, together we can achieve much more, because there is what synergy is all about. It the A4 is appropriation. Now, what is appropriation? Specifically set aside for a formal group or a money aside, something that is appropriated as allocated and which is equitably distributed as per the responsibilities taken by the organization or the individual in the organization. The future of workplace diversity should be diverse and its consumer. Therefore, companies have to scale appropriate funds for their inclusions, for the diversity. This is what we are talking about here. Everything about inclusions and development should be allocated, appropriated. Diversity requires resources to be included and developed. See, so diversity allies, what is your company's inclusiveness and development budget for? So company should take research and development approach towards diversity and inclusions and development. Now, what are we looking into it? What kind of budget? Probably generalized sensitization budgets of training and training programs, or what exactly is happening? What are the best practices, and why do certain people have certain kind of upbringing per se? These are things that needs to be understood time and again. Accountability is the a fifth one of, or whatever. You with responsibilities, you have you have to bring upon the delivery aspects of it. You should be equitable, you should be fair, you should be accountable for all that has been assigned to you as a responsibilities, duties, and probably resources which has been allocated just because of the power position that you occupy. Now, you should be accountable, yes, and that is what the fifth A is all about. As far as diversity and inclusion is concerned, as far as allyship is concerned, the six A's of allyship, if we go around, is all about action. Reject bigotry. Fighting bigotry is a war. Battles of war end, but the battle of inclusion and equality in diversity will never end. Remember, DEI is all about diversity, equality, and inclusivity, or inclusions, as the case might be. Fighting bigotry, you might provide a lip service to diversity, acknowledge the fact, probably let a small turtle pass by, but will not sure that certain other things have been kept in mind, and probably you will have a different perspective back at your home. So that's an action which is not to be appreciated. You should walk the talk. You should be transparent, not only in your actions but also in your thoughts. You should not pay lip services itself. You should ensure that your action speaks louder than the words. So, what is your ideology as far as diversity is concerned? The future allies, there are many, absolutely many, and many are wrong also, be it gender, be it racial ideologies, and sometimes contribute to the widespread societal beliefs that legitimate gender and racial inequalities workplaces are to be guided upon, as in the men needs to be paid more, the women will not be able to dedicate themselves more for the office hours, or they are not very career oriented. Now these are your ideologies as far as diversity is concerned. Only on the basis of gender did I say the male and the female. The males are aggressive, the females are not. Again, a wrong myth to be said. So that these are the ideologies that needs to be understood and probably avoided. Ideologies or myth that's a blinding. Be stoic about diversity futures in the workplace. Stoic doesn't concern itself with the complicated theories. Absolutely. Stereotypes about the world, what the others say so, but with helping us overcome the destructive emotions and act on what can be acted upon. They are laser focused on actions, not endless workplace debates as the case might be. They are, remember, stoic people doesn't concern with the self and probably complicated theories altogether. What are they looking into it? They are looking as to what can be is what is punitive is if we follow a certain line of thoughts. In fact, those things needs to be destroyed. Things needs to be decimated. They are laser focused on action. Stoic people are laser focused on action, and rather than any lip service that needs to be extended, their action speaks louder than their words altogether. In fact, they ensure that their action has been followed upon or probably has been noted down. So diversity for thought. The future of workplace diversity will include mosaic people altogether who brings in a variety of background. Look at the mosaic that I have done in for this particular slides. You will have people from different backgrounds, different talent perspective, different values, different opinion as an asset to the organization and the groups with which they interact. Remember, this will help the organization to understand the point of view of every perspective, probably in this case, the customers also. Remember the mere fact that organization should be seen uh, absolutely inclusive in nature for it to be successful and for it to be accepted by the society, because society will comprise of people from diverse background. Society will be talking about inclusion. Society will be talking about equality per se. So bridging the skill gap. As we invest in the future to introduce more technologies in our workplace, it is imperative that we invest, we introduce more diversity in our workplace. The more diversity that we go around it, the more tolerant we'll become altogether. This is supposedly to be understood time and again. So, can we teach, innovate diversity into our workplace? Well, if it is possible, what they really wanted, they could have done it actually. We need to understand. Probably it cannot be turned overnight, but a small ingrained natures of accepting diversity or the beneficial impact of diversity, or let's say the other way around, the harmful impact of not being inclusive, which actually will let you know why diversity should be accepted, why inclusiveness is a must for sustenance. And that is what needs to be taught. That is what needs to be ingrained. You don't need a brain surgery to start your diversity training altogether. That is what needs to be understood. Remember, 87% of the CEOs across the globe allegedly focuses on talent, diversity, and inclusion. 87%, 78% of large organizations allegedly are actively trying to recruit more women, making a balance between the genders. 80% of organizations are allegedly that they are allege their diversity and recruitment strategies altogether, ensuring that it's a free, fair, and EEOC organization. EEOC is Equal Employment Opportunities Compliant Organization. Most organizations have only incorporated diversity and inclusion in their website marketing. This might be an illusion play, but eventually you are beginning somewhere, right? And that is what we will be looking into it. When I say most organizations, instead of 87%, 78%, or 80%, it might be almost in 100% cases. So diversity is not about counting heads. Inclusion is making sure that there are people from different outs. Remember, every head counts. Every head matters. So diversity is counting heads, inclusion is make sure, and all head counts. The best way to predict future of the workplace is to a workplace diversity is to build it with an allyship, build it with an inclusion, build it with a sense of belongingness. Diversity is what we are looking into it. Build it, allyship, uh, evolve into a diverse workforce, in have a sense of equality among the team members, have a sense of inclusion among the team members, ensure that there are no diversity discriminations happening in an organization. Just as a child is born in the world without any prejudices, so it is born without any stereotyping. Also, prejudices is like stereotyping is learned. Allyship can create a workplace and a world where prejudices and stereotypes are unlearned altogether. With this, I come to an end of this presentation. Thank you for watching this video.